being in the world. When you're being in the world, there aren't rules that you can follow because they don't make sense to you. There's ways that you know to live that others might think are bizarre or weird or too sensitive, and they feel true for you. And that is how it feels to be awake, is there's the risk that other people won't understand you. And then you stay in that place where you still feel like yourself, even though no one understands. And it takes a very committed pause to do that. So that, for example, I was talking with somebody borderline, and the phone, somehow we got disconnected. And she almost went into an anxiety attack. Like, she really escalated. She thought, what did I do wrong? Did I press a button? She was feeling like it was her fault. And that place where you start to feel like something's your fault, or you feel bad, or you feel like, that's the place where you pause, because your whole physiology is starting to escalate. So you de-escalate by pausing, noticing that what is going on inside the brain is creating an escalation. And that's it. You catch that moment where you pause, and then you stay there, and you let the discomfort that could have occurred or is attempting to occur, or to convince you that you've got to be upset, or you're in big trouble, or whatever the nasty place that's trying to inflate is bringing you. And you feel that place, and you pause, and you pause, and you pause. And it's not easy. And then it gets easier and easier and easier and easier and easier. And soon it's less possible to get hooked by the stress that before was so stressful. And then pretty soon, all stressors, all the things that you thought were bad or that you had meant something about you don't see them anymore. They become less and less in your field of awareness. And that is a practice. And I in no way want to sit here and say, just pause. It's really challenging. It's like not reaching for a cookie when you're on a gluten-free diet. It's like, God. And it's so convincing that we need to respond to that stress. So please come into a pause. Do a breath. The breathing always helps. Always helps. Come into breathing so that you can disband from that escalation that's trying to take you into an anxiety feeling. And then stay there and do whatever it takes to stay there, to stay in that pause. And you can do it. I've done it, and I'm one of the most anxious people I've ever met. So come into that feeling of pause. It's just like pausing anything else on your phone when you're listening to music. Pause. Maybe see the 2 bars. Pause. And practice and practice and practice. It's so worth it. You can practice at stoplights when you're standing there waiting for the light, or in the car. Just practice. What does it feel like to pause? Where any thoughts that are arising fall, and they land, and I'm right there. And I can feel my soul. And I can't feel the stress. You can do it. Thanks for listening.